First, there was Dueling Citizens, now Secrets from the Inside. Author Greg Meakin nails it again. Introducing Secrets from the Inside Radio Show. Raw, unscripted, uncensored, uncanceled. Secrets from the Inside starts now. With your hosts, Greg Meakin, Val Olson, and Captain James McCormick.
Two roads diverged in a yellow wood, and sorry I could not travel both and be one traveler. Long I stood and looked down one as far as I could, to where it bent in the undergrowth. Then took the other as just as fair, and having perhaps the better claim, because it was grassy and wanted wear. Though as for that, the passing there had worn them really about the same. And both that morning equally lay in leaves no step had trodden black. Oh, I kept the first for another day, yet knowing how way leads on to way, I doubted if I should ever come back. I shall be telling this with a sigh somewhere ages and ages hence. Two roads diverged in a wood, and I took the one less traveled by. And that has made all the difference.
In 3 words, I can sum up everything I've learned about life. It goes on. And all the confusions of today, with all of our troubles, with politicians, with people, slinging in the word fear around, all of us. And the rest you have to do your homework on. It is Secrets from the Inside, episode 004. Good morning. I'm Val Olson. I am so happy you are joining us today. Greg Meakin is here. Secrets from the Inside, episode 004. And Greg, we have a sponsor today. 3 words. It's brought to you by 3 words today, our show is. Those 3 words are, it is well. It is well. It's the Thanksgiving edition of Secrets from the Inside. So I'm excited to be here early. We have a hard start around the corner, but this is the early show. The early bird gets the worm.
Val, you are the early bird today. How's my sound coming in? That's the most important thing.
Loud and clear, crystal clear this morning.
Robert Frost, A Road Not Taken. That was a secret recording that you had. I didn't know that you were going to be playing that. So there you go. You're right off to the bat. 2 roads diverged in a yellow wood. And I took the one less traveled by. And that has made all the difference. Val Olson, when you introduce a show, you introduce a show. Thank you for surprising me on that. Actually, gonna sounds funny. I'm just gonna turn it back to you a little bit here. We're still in our course, our preview. Looks like we got 9 minutes till our hard start. Everything's all about sound and connection. Um, it's odd that you said the three words "it is well." Of course, it's odd because I'd been thinking about that about 2 days ago. Do you know the song? The Christian hymn, "It is well with my soul." It is well as well.
Yes.
That's kind of been a general theme of old Greg's life the last 48 hours. Okay, because it is a crazy world. It's a busy world. We got Thanksgiving coming up and all that fun stuff. But bottom line, Val, the whole thing is, it is well. So have a quick little chat. Sounds like our mic check has worked. So chit chat a little on your end. The one thing for sure, as we chatted in the pre-show, because I'm a pre-show guy too. I don't know if you knew that, Val, but as we chatted, today's really a day for everyone to take a break. You know that feeling, maybe when there's a big snowstorm like back in Montreal, where you realize, hey, let's just take a break here for about an hour, a day or two while we dig ourselves out. But there's nothing we can do, there's nothing we can control. The snowstorm's over, kind of like the end of a wedding reception that I've said in the past, where you just sit back and say, yeah, that was great, but let's take a break. Let's take a break. And this is the break day for me. And hopefully for the world out there. It's a crazy, crazy world. I definitely want today's show to be a politics-free show. And really even Alberta 51 free and all that stuff we have published, Val. We have published and recorded literally it's hundreds of hours on directly on U.S. politics, Canadian politics, Alberta 51. The information's out there. There's nothing technically new that has to be presented right at this moment. So let's call it National Thanksgiving Day for God and America. And how about National Everybody Do Your Own Homework Week? Val, I'll turn it back to you. I'm having fun already. We're not even started. Val Olson of Val Olson News, where new news gets its news, and Val Olson Radio on X.
I'm comfortable not going too political today, Greg. But I don't want to leave our Alberta listeners behind because, whether it's 1 or 100 or 857,523, so often, when you hear the word Alberta, it it sounds political because that's really where she is, right? It's a political place. However, behind those politics, that's my home zone, right? That's where I come from. So, like, I know all the hiding places in Alberta. I just so I don't want to like leave Alberta behind. I want to bring Alberta with us, and Thanksgiving is such a huge holiday here. As an Albertan American living here, I was saying to my husband last night, it is as busy or busier here at Thanksgiving than it is at Christmas. So, there's really that feel, and not everybody gets home, right? Like people have to work, you know, sometimes, you just all can't be together. And I just love being able to host a radio show where we can like bring it together. We can like bring that connection through. That's really important to me. I'm really really feeling that. So, um, you know, I've really suffered with having a bad connection up until now. Today I'm coming through really really clear, and I'm excited about that because this is a really really special episode, and you don't always have a lot of time to waste on the radio. And I found when I was on the radio in Alberta, I was wasting the airspace that I had. And so today I don't want to waste any airspace. I want to really use it and just really send a message from our sponsor. It is well. It is good. So good. And when you really unpack that, because there's a lot to unpack. You think about it. It's good. And isn't that what we want, right? Isn't that what we want whether we're here together or we're apart? Just to know that. And that can like make a holiday. At least I'm a mom, right? I have soon to be leaving the nest, not yet, but that's I think about that. I think about that every second. You know, this time together is so precious. And at the end of the day, that's all you want for those that you love, your friends, your family, but especially your children. Just it is well.
What you are describing here, Val, even with your mention of Alberta, this is about the people. This is about the people. This is about the home front today. And Alberta people, Arizona people, West Virginia people, all the citizens throughout America and Canada, um, to come full circle, we got a kitchen table here.
Yes.
It's called Val's Kitchen Table. And it sounds to me, based on we're emotional today, Val, which is really good. Okay, we are giving thanks today, Val. Okay, which is really good. It looks like we have about 3 minutes until our hard start, but I'm going to encourage you to just, as I am, just sit back today. Just sit back today. Take, take inventory of 2023, how it's been so far, and really our lives, how they've been so far. I got on almost 65 and counting years, Val, but don't tell anybody. That's a secret. So let's do what we always do, what you do every episode. We're at episode 004, Val. And by the way, next week is episode 005. And I'll bet you'll know what the one after that is.
Pretty good idea.
I think it's 006.
Yeah.
Welcome to Greg's Marketing, right? I was always taught, make sure a second grader can understand it if you're marketing or branding. No, seriously, even live TV. So let's, as a matter of fact, let's gather around your kitchen table today. I rang the bell early, as you know. I'm here. You're here. We might even, you never know. We might even have guests pop in, but we'll see. And honestly, it doesn't matter because we've got 59 minutes. We got 59 minutes of honestly taking a break and opening our hearts to the home front, to thanking God. And in my case, I thank America. I thank God I'm in America every day. So we got that special time coming up, top of the hour, Miss Val. Miss Val, our military guys call you Miss Val, our military radio gal. So how's that to preview your start? I'll mute here. I'll really will sit back for a few minutes for just take your time and do like an awesome Val intro. Okay.
Okay, are you okay if I start with a song? I feel like it's time to just gather the family. It's Thanksgiving. Are you okay with that?
Well, not only am I okay with that, I so thank you for asking permission.
Well, you are the producer.
Just like permission. Would you remind my kids? Okay, it's really nice to say please, thank you, and ask permission for stuff. No, very good. Absolutely. You take it over from here. You play your song, Val.
Okay, we are celebrating Thanksgiving 2023 on this side of freedom, and it is all about the home front. It is all about the family, and we are just celebrating the year we have, the day we have together.
Let me go. I don't wanna be your hero. I don't wanna be a big man. I just wanna fight with everyone else. Your masquerade. I don't wanna be a part of your parade. Everyone deserves a chance to walk with everyone else. while holding down a job to keep my girl around. Maybe buy me some new strings and her a night out on the weekend. And we can whisper things, secrets from our American dreams. Baby needs some protection, but I'm a kid like everyone else. So let me go. I don't wanna be your hero. I don't wanna be a big man. I just wanna fight like everyone else. So let me go. I don't wanna be your hero. I don't wanna be a big man. I just wanna fight with everyone else. Your masquerade. I don't wanna be a part of your parade. Everyone deserves a chance to walk with everyone else.
It truly is the year of the family. That's what it's all about. And I wish there was like a smell button that I could activate. I know my sound is coming through crystal clear, which just adds another dimension, but I literally can smell homemade pie baking. So for for all of you that are busy baking, I'm sending that out to you this morning. And sometimes it's just about 3 words. It is well. So, good morning. Secrets from the Inside, episode 004. Val Olson Radio on X coming to you with great sound quality. You know, it's just like oxygen, right? The radio is a powerful, powerful tool and it stands the test of time. I love radio and that's where my heart is. And this is why. If you're wondering why radio is the best, it's it's because of this right now, that connection that we have. So I'm thrilled to be coming to you on X this morning alongside Greg Meakin. I've done all the talking here, Greg. I'm gonna pass the mic to you.
Wow, you might regret that because you know I like to talk, Val. Oh, I'll tell you what, if you get me emotional today, which I already am listening to that song it's one in a million, one in a million. I only heard it for the first time this morning. But likely, that song, there'll be lots of legs going on that song, meaning I'll be highlighting it in future episodes. And it is one in a million of a million favorite words in there is I don't need to be a big man. You know, I don't want to be a big man. Um, I don't want to be a hero. And tell you what, every leader that I know that is a strong leader, and we know them, Val. We've talked about them. We won't talk cowboy hats and Arizona sheriffs or anything. We won't talk about that today. But all these people that are leaders, I will say they're reluctant leaders. They don't need to be. They actually don't want to be very often because they know the price of leadership. In the case of Captain James McCormick, who will not be here today, I'll talk later on that, Val, but God love, shout out to Captain James McCormick in West Virginia. But there's a leader too. They're reluctant leaders, Val. We've talked about this. They don't need to be leaders. They technically don't want to be leaders because they know the price that's paid for war
Mm.
and to go into like championship hockey games and to whatever leaders are out there. There's a price to pay for it, and leadership can also be a very, very lonely place, as you well know, Val. It's not. There's not a cliche when it says it's lonely at the top. Okay, but I really like that song. I'm going to actually, as a side note, Val, I'm going to do. I'm kind of famous for my book reviews, and
Yes.
there's a couple published up there. There's book reviews, and then there's Greg Meakin book reviews, right? But this one, I'm going to kind of leave it this. This song has deeply, deeply moved me today. And I'm going to do a video review. It'll really be my first one. And I'll post it online on my website, video review, just analyzing the song and the video, the production, and the hidden messages in there, which are absolutely huge. They're wonderful. So that's a little teaser for the future, but it's a big commitment for me to say I'm going to write about anything because I don't have any time. So thank you for that. Also, again, around your kitchen table, the message that you're relaying and is the message really that I continue to relay to folks is really, and God, it sounds so cliche, but it's true. Wake up in kindergarten every day. There's so much to learn and so little time because before you know it, you're in first grade. And so I had a morning like that. I think you had a morning like that, Val. I hope everybody out there had a morning like that. The bottom line, we're going in. I told Deborah this morning, it feels like Christmas Eve. It feels like there's an energy brewing. It feels like there's not just stress, not just holiday stress, but maybe an excitement in the air. Maybe going to be busy here for the next 48 hours. I joke. Boy, I love to joke. Thanksgiving in the United States. I love Thanksgiving in the United States. Up in Canada, it was big because there was football. It's football. By the way, my Seattle Seahawks played today against the 49ers. I wasn't going to say that on the air, but because today's not football day, okay, everybody? It's not football day, but it's really, really good. So, in Canada, Val, in Canada, I couldn't understand it. Growing up in Montreal, of course, couldn't understand. We'd go back to school right after Labor Day, and like 3 minutes later was Thanksgiving in Canada. Right? It was like, really? We're off again, and I guess it was the beginning of school boards and time off. I don't know. Anyhow, we won't go there today because it's a politics-free zone. But the November the 3rd, Thursday in November, is just a great time for Thanksgiving. It was right in between Labor Day and Christmas. And as anyone who owns a television set knows that Americans love their Thanksgiving, and Americans do Thanksgiving like nobody else does. Just like Vegas, we do it the way no one else does. Just like New York City, we do it the way no one else does. So a bit of a monologue there. I never plan what I'm going to say, nor do I care to, as you know, Val. But just welcome around your kitchen table. A ton of stuff that I do want to talk about, and really mostly personal. But I'm planning on hopefully succeeding in doing a 59-minute show. I haven't succeeded yet. Right, in search of a 59-minute show. The last one we did, Val, was almost 3. It was 3 hours.
Yeah, that was a long
Yep,
show. Uh,
yep. And the good news is, if people don't want to listen to the 3 hours, guess what? They're all clipped out on my YouTube channel, one at a time. I think there's over 25 clips, and it's already there. But don't worry, I'm not going to do anyone's homework for them today, Val.
I like, Greg, that you're going to be doing a review on the song. People can visit your website at gregmeakin.com. And it's funny, I just brought up the lyrics because I was really moved by the song too. And so I went to get the line out that I was gonna say, "I bet you're gonna hammer on this part," and the line is not in the song, but the line is there, but it's not. So Mission, uh, this song to me is all about being on a mission, and unfortunately, that didn't make it into the song, but yet it's in the song. So, the part, "Secrets from my American dreams, baby needs some protection, but I'm a kid like everyone else." And I love that. I love that because that's like it's your chance, right? It's your chance to be on a mission, and some people are born with that. Sometimes it takes time to, like, find that, but I think that being on a mission is it's I mean, it's like what you want in this world, right? Isn't that what makes the difference when you can when you can actually walk it out and do it and, just be present to enjoy it. Some people spend their whole life in a job that they hate. So that's just a side note, right? Like a comparable. You're in a place in your life where you're not happy, it's not going well, and all of a sudden everything just clicks and you're on a mission. So yeah, that's what I get.
That's powerful. Nothing we do on this show is cliche. These are lessons for life. But my message there, the word, maybe the subword of the day is mission. Right? Well, you just brought it up. Wonderful. Be on a mission. Um, which is obviously an essay I had published, and it's on YouTube. Again, it's on my YouTube channel. Be on a mission. What I want to briefly touch on here is, my mantra is the Jordan Peterson: start an adventure, be on a mission. But start an adventure. There's so many people, and I don't blame them. They've just given up, Val. I am telling you, they've given up. There's nothing they can do about anything in the world. And again, we won't talk politics. We'll talk personal. We'll talk family and stuff. But when I say be on it, choose an adventure, go on an adventure. I guess my message here is live life on purpose. Just live it on purpose. Where I've gone through months and years of being downtrodden and depressed and burned out. And I can't control anything. And it's way beyond politics. We could be talking work and family and personal issues and health issues and so forth. But either way, no matter where we are, try and live life on purpose every day. Do something, just do something. And indeed, hopefully, start an adventure and be on a mission. So if we got sub themes going today, Val, it's live life on purpose. And back to you on that one.
Yeah, I really feel like that is to our American audience. That is really the message this morning. You know, be on a mission and love it, enjoy it. Uh, because some of our listeners they are on that mission. And when you're on a mission, there is a peace, there's a stillness, there is an excitement. You compared it to Christmas Eve, and it's like that. Uh, yeah, it's really good. All is well this morning.
Boy, there's three go-to words, isn't it? Because you know what? The truth is easy to sell. It's true. That's what's good about those three words. It's true. If you decide all is well, and that's a promise. um, have I don't know about you. This is great so far. Just sitting back and chatting about. Remember, I'll go through a little bit of housekeeping here, Val. Is that okay? Just a few little things to kind of
Yes.
There's got a little list in no order whatsoever, but I definitely want to chat about my YouTube channel because there's action going there behind the scenes. Remember, this show's always about secrets, Val. If you ever get me on a mic or on a cell call, you know you'll get secrets. But want to talk real quick. Let's touch base about James, good old Captain James, who's normally here. He's the third part of our trifecta. Our trifecta of freedom is what we call the hosts on Secrets from the Inside. Captain James McCormick. He's for folks that are listening for the very first time, and there's a bunch, by the way, Val. There's going to be a bunch once again. Captain James McCormick is our resident three-time Purple Heart winner, war hero. He knows Donald Trump. He knows George W. Bush. He's one of these guys. Leader. I'm going to guess. Boy, as far as brand ambassador and national spokesman, he's the brand ambassador for U.S. military veterans around the world. But he's a spokesman. He's a brand ambassador. He speaks for them. They speak to him. He speaks back. Talk about boots on the ground here. James McCormick, I told him earlier today during show prep to take the day off. He's got a very, very busy Thanksgiving coming up. Family Thanksgiving, as you know, Val. He's got a busy household, and he's got, I think, 2 or 3 other families coming to visit his household. You know how that goes. So I say, hey, take the day off, James. Take a break. But as a side note on that, James, he runs. He wears multi hats. Oh, so many hats. But he runs the little museum. It's a museum in West Virginia, in Point Pleasant, West Virginia, and that's his day job, right, Val? That's his day job because he goes and he answers phones, and I think he attends covers like 30 hours a week or something. And we've had that in previous episodes talking about that fun little volunteer situation he's got. But it's a little museum in West Virginia. It's the Mothman Town, right?
Yes.
Point Pleasant, Mothman Town. So sadly, his museum was tagged by either quote gang, or young people or someone nefarious out there, tagged the entire outside of the museum, Val. And while they were at it later on into the evening, they tagged a lot of the houses in the community.
Like with paint? Or
Yeah, I think the spray paint gig. Oh yeah. I didn't get the full report as far as vandalism. I don't know if there was any of the vandalism or damage thereof. But yeah, the paint, like they tag the side of train cars.
like orange or something?
Yeah. And I'm sure, let's do a full report on that from James. I mean, it'll be a news story back there.
Yeah.
Again, that's a James by the way thing, but police involved, full report. And if anyone knows Captain McCormick, he is pressing charges. Not only is he going to be pressing charges, but he's got these guys on video. I don't know if they're in jail yet, but I can assure you they will be. So that's the good news, because relaying the chat, I had a nice long cell chat with him this morning. You ain't going to be doing that stuff
Right.
in West Virginia. And you know what? The entire United States of America is getting sick of this stuff too, Val. So you ain't going to be doing that stuff. Just like the old days, we're going to take our towns back in a nice, polite way. Take our towns back, and there ain't going to be that stuff, that garbage, that nonsense that seems to be A-OK. Once again, politics free today, okay, Val? But we know exactly what we're talking about. There's a lack of discipline, a lack of law and order, both in the United States and Canada. And so let's keep it on the home front here. This hurts. This really hurts families and households. And I'll tell you what, we got one captain back in West Virginia who's taking a day off here on the radio, but I guarantee he's busy, and including busy behind the scenes, to make sure there's accountability for this nonsense. We're sick of it. We're done with it. And once again, to the home front means take care of our own houses too, our own families. Take care. And back to you on that, Val. I know that was kind of news to you on the West Virginia front. So if James isn't here, he's here in heart and forever and ever. And Val, will salute him forever. And I really think he's spokesman for at least 500,000 people right now, probably more. So there you go.
Yeah. Well, there's one chair uh I wanted to touch on, like restoring chairs. Do you know much about restoring chairs? Like old, like just one specific chair in particular. It's a huge, big chair, and it's covered with stars, navy, white stars on it. And just wanted to touch on home restoration projects.
Well, that sure sounds like a plan, doesn't it?
Well, when you have a few days off, it's always a good idea to take on something like that, right?
Forget Miss Val. I'm going to rename you Little Miss Symbolism. You do the best symbolism I've ever heard. Oh, we got an old chairs. And okay, I got it in a fun way. In a fun way. And you're right. You're right. Honestly, seriously, take a minute on that. Take a minute on that. Everybody, indeed, that I know has their favorite comfortable shoes, favorite comfortable chairs. We even got stories about that. We'll talk grands and granddads and all that stuff. We'll talk stories of a real comfortable chair that had kind of big flat arms on it, big flat arms that you'd be able to fit twin boys, twin babies on, one on the right
Yes.
side and one on the left side, and a happy mom, maybe even nodding off a little bit because this chair is so comfortable. It's comfortable for her, the mom, and it's comfortable for twin babies. So there you go. Back to you, Val.
Well, I think it's definitely a reserve space, because a chair like that, it's very dignified. It's like you could blast that thing off into outer space too. Like it, it's powerful. I guess is what I'm saying. It's like, and you're not just gonna run and sit on the chair, kids, twins. It's like a reserve chair. It's kind of like at Thanksgiving, right? Who sits at the head of the table? And I guess that's uh that's an important part is knowing who sits where at the table. But there is one chair in particular when it comes to home restoration projects and that one chair, navy blue, white stars with the capability of blasting off. And all I can make of that is that's the head table spot. That's a very specific chair, exclusive to one. Yes, yes, yes. Kids, it's big enough you can hold babies on it, but really important chair. So you tell me, Greg, back to you, who sits in that chair? Is it mom and the babies? Is it I don't know. You tell me.
Oh my goodness, this is wonderful. Well, this will be able to document as the show of symbolism. Isn't that great? Who sits in the chair? I'll just say it, okay, Val. I'll just say it. I'm a one God guy, okay? I'll just say it. I'm a one God guy. He sits there, he forever will, okay? I might be at the head of the table, but I ain't nothing. I ain't nothing. I'm a one God guy. So there's the head of my table forever. And then whoever is occupying the human space, and really, of course, that's up to every individual, family or team or whatever, whoever occupies that chair. But the chair's got to be there. It's got to be there as the head of household, the head of table, the head of um, the um, the glue, the glue. The reminder of the plan. Um, Side happy note, my kids always insisted that I sat at the head of the table because that's what they used to do. The dad did, Val.
Hmm.
The dad did. Uh, that was just a really nice personal shares. Just honestly, back to you. I know you got stuff to talk about there, but that's kind of a
Yeah.
quick feedback on my end. You have me very thoughtful today.
Yeah, I really appreciate, talking about the home front, but over to the big boys, when they have to decide, because sometimes it's almost like, that game where it's like everyone's running around, but somebody has to actually uh, be a leader and take the chair, and decide who sits in the chair. But it's really important because behind that chair I just think of, that chair definitely represents the United States of America. There's no doubt about it because but that chair is heavy, right? It's a heavy chair to lug up, almost like a mountain. It can be difficult. It can be difficult, and it takes an entire team. We know that through history, holding that flag up. We know that. And sometimes it comes down to the chair, and one person can't always carry that. Like you just think into some places, you really have to come in and say, "This is my chair. I have the chair. Chair is mine." And it just goes out from there. You speak it, you say it, you claim it, you own it, and you show it because it's a big chair.
And the natural question to you, Val, is who sits in the chair in your household? You asked me, so I'll ask you.
Well, I'm in the United States of America, and I don't suffer from censorship laws. So, you know, I would say it's like the president of our house, and I absolutely would give that title to the commander in chief. You haven't met my husband. Oh yeah, yes you have. But some of you listening haven't met my husband. And oh, I he is the man for the job. Absolutely. So I give him willingly the chair, the head seat, head of the household. I think that that's important because I can depend on that. I can lean into that. I can I can do my job and do my job well because of that. Law and order is important. Law and order is important at home as it is in the community, as it is global scale. But if we're just going to localize it to United States of America, it's absolutely essential. And it can sometimes come down to just you, one person having to lug that heavy, huge chair, but you're going to do it. 'Cause that's all you have to focus on is doesn't matter if it's 1 or it's 100, just do it. Own it. Carry it, lift it. Now's the time of lifting, heavy lifting. I mean, people are lifting turkeys, um, at home. They're working hard. They're doing, all this stuff to get that feeling of, right? That's what we're trying to do is we're trying to get that feeling of. And, we're just taking a minute just to pause and recognize, hey, we are in the United States of America. We still abide by these things. And it all comes down to one nation under God. And we are still intact and we are stronger than ever. And it's going to be a really, really special, special, special Thanksgiving. And I'm just going back to some of the earliest Thanksgiving. Like, we could go back. Let's talk about that. Let's, talk about smoke signals, Greg.
Boy, original Thanksgiving. Original Thanksgiving. Honestly, Val, seriously, that's an entire episode unto itself. I'll tell you what, if anyone wants to do research on this, check out Rush Limbaugh, The True Meaning of Thanksgiving. It's on YouTube. It's a monologue. True Meaning of Thanksgiving. Nobody, honestly, very few Americans know. And the interesting thing, just to skip branching on that, on the original Thanksgiving with the Plymouth Rock and the Pilgrims, the Mayflower folks, that sounds pretty folksy, is there's a story of Jamestown, which most historians know, but Jamestown was before the Mayflower. It was truly the first. Again, I'm not a historian. I'm not going to go out of my lane here. But Jamestown was 1610. roughly 10 plus years before the Mayflower. And in a nutshell, they determined that the old feudal system of, quote, socialism, where everybody has their own, everybody contributes to one pot, blah, 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 and everyone shares, didn't work. That actually the only way that they survived, Jamestown survived, was by going to, quote, capitalism and private property ownership. And they found that once people owned their own land and could actually reap the benefits from that actual land and keep their money, imagine this, no tax, whatever, no taxation, etc. That the not only Jamestown but the United States ended up thriving, really thriving. So that was honestly, if anyone truly on the Thanksgiving subject, the only thing you ever have to look into is Rush Limbaugh and how he reflected on it. I believe the original book was that I'd read it from was The Way Things Ought to Be. The Way Things Ought to Be. So didn't think I was going to chat about Rush Limbaugh there, but to switch, actually, if you don't mind, we're going to be coming up that at least the 30-minute mark here, Val. Do you mind if I go over? I mentioned a little bit of housekeeping. I want to talk YouTube a little bit. I want to kind of catch people up before we get too reflective. We'll have still the last segment left, but I'd like to talk YouTube a little bit. I'd like to talk a little bit as far as the resources and stuff that's out there for folks, because there's so much right now, not just my YouTube channel and your work, Val, but there's a number of moving parts going on as far as just kind of the media and the press and stuff, where I do believe, like I've said, to put it in a nutshell, I believe that that there's a wave of kind of information and that's really putting it diplomatically. Information, new sources, new secrets, bunch of stuff coming up before November 2024. That's the only thing I'll ever say with the word with the term politics in is November 2024. I'll stay off of it for there, but I do believe there's a wave, and I believe there's a wave of new information, fresh information. And one of those, obviously, well, of course, we got Val Olson. I mean, it goes without saying. And this ain't no just plug. This ain't no plug. This is a go there for the information. And of course, it's Val Olson News and Val Olson Radio on X. And people need to follow you, Val, on Twitter and elsewhere, just to keep up with. Again, you got new news. It's called New News. You know where New News gets its news. On my side, and this is really more than it ever was before, kind of today. And it is my YouTube chat. My YouTube channel is becoming a real resource. In that right now, what started as kind of this Valley just started maybe documenting stuff about a year ago, radio clips and all that stuff. And it's turned out really, really cool. And bottom line, there's going to be and is so much information pouring out of that YouTube channel right now. You well know this, Val. There were probably over 20 fresh, hot off the press videos that were just published this morning before dawn, before dawn in Arizona. And that happened to have been episode 002, totally memorable. That was our president's episode, Val.
Yes.
And in episode 03 is on my YouTube channel, also amazing. Between just those two episodes, 2 and 3, because we're on 4 today, but between 2 and 3, there were about 50 clips. There will never be a clip posted that's garbage. I've always said that, right, Val? There's a beginning, there's an end, and there's information in between. And over 50 that most of the regular population have not seen yet, but it's hanging there on my YouTube channel. I do really encourage people to click subscribe on that. There are tens and tens of thousands of viewers, but very few subscribers. How that happens now in media, but I think we're even privy to those because you're where New News gets its news, to those clips that came out this morning. Actually, I don't know if I asked you this, but do you have just a listing of what came out this morning? Again, most people who are listening to this have not seen them. Do you have even like a listing? Because I share that stuff with you, that you could just kind of bullet point share of because it's going to be over 20, I think.
There's 21. Yes,
Could you take just a quick second? Again, it's
Sure.
my show, right? So I'm a dictator. Say, hey, let's take a break in the show. It's important for me. It's important for me because people are really, really reacting But bottom line, I mean it, Val. I think it's the best information on the internet right now. I mean it. So anyhow, go for it if you would. Just what came out this morning, and again, that doesn't include the previous episode, which is already up there. So go for it. I'll let you do that, Val. That'd be great.
Okay, so our clips from episode 002, Val and Greg intro Many Hats, Rules of Val's Kitchen Table, Captain James in the house, Your admission ticket is your secret, Greg's George W. Bush secret, Who is Captain James? Why? Message to terrorists get busy, Presidents James has met. Message to 4547. Patriot Switch. Val Olson invites Joe Biden. To the rank and file. MEAKIN secrets about past presidents. George Bush Sr. wept. Astronauts and Corvairs. MEAKIN, the canine dog program. Cynthia, the green German shepherd. George Bush and Obama's, Val's X platform AAX, Greg's PooTube channel, secrets about Alberta 51, producer Greg's sign off.
I want to watch that show. I'm listening to it. That was one radio show, Val?
Yeah. Yep. Episode
Holy-
002.
That's right. I thank you for that. Honestly, thank you for that. Remember, my old adage was for anyone out there, honestly, who's artists, writers, radio people, TV people, always go back and look on your past work. Not to ruminate, not to reflect, but to see what your work was like back then, see if it's evolved, see if there's things that you can improve today on. And just listening to those clips, that's good stuff right there. And I'm saying I produced it, but when it listens well to yourself, it's good. So thank you on that. Just a quick YouTube finish here, and then again we'll go on. Nice, we got about 20 minutes left, so we got lots of time. But on my YouTube channel, there are now, it's approaching 900 videos. Val, 900 videos. 25,000 views, probably close to 500,000 impressions. And boy, going off of memory, I think we're up to 53 cities now since last show. And countries, definitely one way or another, they'll be approaching probably 40 countries any minute, just in terms of replatforming and sharing and stuff. I do want to, it sounds funny, I want to throw you a curveball here, Val. I'm going to be doing future segments on the bottom of the list. We're always top 10 stuff, top list, top 3, top 5, and that's how my Greg's list go. I'm going to, we might even do a segment on this in future shows, which is the bottom of the list. Well, what about the bottom 5? Who are the bottom 5? Who are the, the bottom 10, whatever, because it's always interesting. And if you talk even about the old forensic poll, Val, and again, no prep here or anything. I just want a dialogue, but like the forensic poll, remember I chatted with you because you were literally one of the eyes on what was happening, make sure everything was cool and checks and balances and stuff. And I talked about some of the cities that had one vote. Do you remember that?
Yes.
Because we got Calgary. And by the way, shout out to Calgary as a side note. I'm doing 100 side notes today, Val. But shout out to Calgary. There's no question whatsoever. I don't know if every person in Calgary is following me, but it seems like it. Calgary, it's not even close. We're talking 2 to 1, blah, blah. Number 1 city that follows me on YouTube. Number 1. Number 1 city in the forensic poll. It's like, again, I don't have personal ties with Calgary, but there's a shout out there. The big joke was, what the second city was, right? On my YouTube channel was Toronto. Toronto. Are you kidding me? So it was like it was Calgary, Toronto, Phoenix, Edmonton, and then guess what? Medicine Hat.
Yes.
Top 5. But who were the bottom 5? And I love that. So I'll do that in the future. We got the voters list. I'll pull that out. But bottom 5 on I'm actually going to pull this out. This was fun on my YouTube channel. So, okay, who are the small countries that follow me, right? Let me just,
Yes.
and give me a sec here. If my sound's off, I'm doing a Rush Limbaugh. I want to talk about let's go with, this is fun, Val. Don't you love Secrets from the Inside? Don't you love, ad hoc radio, goodness, fun. Bottom 5 YouTube channel, and I say bottom meaning that they count, and it's usually 10 or more or something that they count. There's more than this, but bottom is New Zealand. Okay, New Zealand following me. Okay, so that's the bottom. And the next is Ireland. And I love this. Third from the bottom, South Africa. I love that one.
Yeah.
Fourth from the bottom. Again, we're going from I find the bottom more interesting than the top. Fourth from the bottom is the Netherlands.
Okay.
Okay, cool. Fifth from the bottom is Germany. Germany. Oh, goodness. And then it goes on. It's India, Australia, the UK, Canada. Anyway. But that to me, like being the quantifiable person I am, that's kind of the fun stuff. So maybe even let's reserve this for a future episode. What's the bottom 5 of stuff or the bottom 10 of stuff? How cool is that? Nowhere, you'll never hear that product out on the radio, right, Val? I'll turn it back to you. I'll turn it back to you in a sec. But thanks for the YouTube catch up. There's one thing I'm disappointed with is people aren't. A lot of people don't actually click and participate. Meaning click to subscribe. You know how that goes. As soon as people have to lift a finger, everything stops. But I do really encourage people to click to subscribe on that because it will, as you know, Val, it'll feed into your news feed. And it's not like other, I'm going to say, garbage YouTube channels where you get a feed every month and it's whatever. Now, this is, as you know, big time, almost like watching a news viewer, because there's that many clips coming through. So there you go. It's, again, not even really a plug, more an information segment here. And my YouTube channel is at Greg Meakin, oddly, at Greg Meakin. So I'll turn it back to you. I know you got a lot of input there, Val, but just I didn't expect to take that turn, but I'm pleased I did. And the folks in those countries, because I'll tell you what, there's no one's ever recorded on those countries unless it's like 10, 15, whatever the number is of people viewing. So it's kind of cool. Back to you on that, Val.
Do you think Germany is where it is on the list because you have like unfinished business?
I do not know. I do not know, and that's probably above my pay grade thought wise. I do have a relative there, 2 relatives there. As a matter of fact, my sister-in-law lives there with her husband. Has become a true German citizen, bilingual. She's amazing. But that's kind of the only quote tie I have to Germany. But again, your question might be above my pay grade.
We might have to go into the bottom drawer of our filing cabinet, Greg, and maybe dig out some old files from the crypt file.
Isn't that great? That really works, doesn't it? The crypt, Tales from the Crypt, right? The crypt, you learned that from the car business. I called it the dead deals file, right? Dead deals. Now, that was whatever, 40 years ago, 30 years ago. But it's where all car deals that couldn't be completed went, right? Dead deals. And as you well remember, whenever young people would be sitting on their hands, I say, do you have nothing to do? Oh, nothing to do. It's not busy. Blah, 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 blah. Customers aren't coming in. But yes, okay, well, here we go. I pull out the drawer. I told you this, Val, off the air. I pull out the drawer of dead deals. And there was always I usually kept it at the bottom of at least a 4-tier file cabinet. So the bottom one, to remind everybody, was the bottom. I pull it out and I pull out maybe a handful of deals and say, hey, these were not quote deals because apparently we were unable to do our job and make them car deals. So if you guys would call these folks, say hi, if anything, just say hi for thanks for coming to the dealership a few weeks or a few months ago or whatever. And because they obviously met someone who was a salesperson with a talent to sell them a car. So we or with it. So call back and go try and make deals with them. Resurrect them. Do you know how many deals were made out of that file cabinet, Val? A lot. Seriously. But once again, it requires lifting a finger and stuff. But so we have indeed part of the quote Secrets from the Inside product on Val Olson Radio platform right now on X. We have what's called the crypt, the dead deal file, where we got a bunch of files of stuff we could talk about and a lot of secret stuff. It just depends on the show, depends on the mood, depends on the show, depends on the theme and stuff. So thanks for giving me a second on that, on the crypt. I love that, don't you? The crypt. Isn't it great?
Well, I will give you one for another day because I don't just accept that, that there's deals in the crypt. I think there's other things like menus. There's just more, and you have to look and really take the time and itemize papers, because so often we hang on to stuff, right? We hang on to things and they get just tucked and set aside, and that's like the info highway. It it really is. We rely on Google so much, but I am worth my weight when Google doesn't work for the world. Then that's when people are looking way back for the papers, right? They're looking for the paper stuff. So I value the crypt file. I value the old filing cabinet. In fact, I would be curious to know where you didn't touch on Russia. If Russia's at the top of your most, popular spot where people are listening to you. I think it might be. It's probably, if you check your file, it's closer to the top. But back to the menu, we can save it for another day.
Oh my God, you never catch me unprepared, do you, Val? 'Cause I'm saying, wait a minute, right? I'm going through my files. It's so funny. It's on. I don't have it. It's on there, but I don't know what category. But
Okay.
if I'm going off of memory here, my pre-dimension memory. Let's roll that over to episode 5. Keep that
Yeah.
as a pending question.
You can do
Uh,
your homework.
Where does Russia stand on your YouTube channel? What a question. You should be an investigative journalist, Val. That'd be good. That'd be a good profession for you. Like you
Yep.
say, you're my first undocumented Canadian journalist pal, right? I said it.
Well,
I said it.
don't leave menus laying around from Mercury Steakhouse. Like, just don't do it. Don't do it.
Oh my God. This has really been fun. And it's fun what I told Deborah this morning. I said, I think this can be the first 59-minute show I'll do, because it really is. I do want to I think we're about 10 minutes to the hour. But either way, I do want to kind of hit the target. No hard fast rule, but I do like to hit the target today, although there's a couple of hours of chat here, Val. Okay. There's a couple hours of chat here. Um, especially on the other country stuff. No, seriously, that's fun stuff. You are a broadcaster that one has to listen to very closely. And again, you're which I love about you. You're full of symbolism and deep thoughts and stuff. So people might want to go back on this broadcast and maybe listen to it a couple of times too. You know what I mean, Val? You know what I mean?
I thought you were going to make me transcribe the menu. Okay. All right. It's that
Oh, you know
time.
what? Do you want to take like 1 minute on the menu that you're talking about? Do you want to take a minute here and finish up on that before we kind of start sprinting to the end of the show? Or the menu thing? I got a lot to talk about there, but that's another show. But do you want to touch on that?
Okay, just for a minute because
Okay,
we're down to our last 10. So
sure, sure.
we're going to reset here shortly. But your book is read Secrets from the Inside, or sorry, yes, Secrets from the Inside. But I'm just saying, like, a red menu, uh, and is very effective too. Like when you go to a restaurant, especially in another country like Russia, it's really effective. It just pops. So I did mention Mercury Steakhouse. So if you wanna talk about steaks, how to prepare them, I'm happy to do that, but we can save that. We can save that for another day.
Oh.
I don't wanna break state protocol, and Mr. Diplomacy, I'll let you just take the reins there.
Oh, for people have it's so Val, you're entertaining me today. By the way, this is great radio. I don't care if one person listens to it, I'm going to listen to it back. I'll get a report. It's really fun stuff. But honestly, meaning no matter what, this is the break day. This is where we're reflecting and having fun, and it really is. And I think we haven't talked politics today, but I'm not sure. That's a secret, Val. That's a secret. Um, seriously, again, I'm not digress or switch gears here, but the red book you're talking about is called "Secrets from the Inside: How to Buy New Car Below Dealer Cost." Came out in 1991. You're the only human being I think in the world that I actually talked to or communicated, because it's so long ago that you've actually read it. You read it back, front to back, number of times. I won't say a number of times, like 15, but
The
you.
menu or your book? Sorry.
Are they the same thing? No, what are we sitting here? We're sitting here like it's like a James Bond movie here. On there.
What I won't do on this show is
Oh,
your homework. So,
oh my
Secrets from the
God.
Inside, you can get your
Oh,
hands on if you can find the book. The Mercury Steakhouse menu, well, same deal there. So, yes, I did do my homework. Yes, I know what kind of steak I'm talking about. Back to you.
oh man. This has really been a fun show. I just cannot wait for the post-show production on this, right? I can't wait. Oh goodness, where you go again? 7 minutes or so left, but just break wherever you like before the end of the show, Val. I'm giving you full reign today. You got lots of things on your mind, but I will just say, and really, with crowding down time here a little bit, seriously, Secrets from the Inside's my new radio show. It's platformed on Val Olson Radio on X. It is platformed on Val Radio for very specific reasons. It is a product that hopefully is 59 minutes long, but has been up to 3 hours. That's a secret, though, Val. But it's a product that no other radio show can give, and that's why I'm on this platform, Secrets from the Inside. Unlimited, really, time. Remember, unscripted, uncensored, uncanceled, undoxed. And if you think anything's canceled or censored, listen back onto this show, because this is great stuff. This is great stuff. But once again, unscripted, uncensored, uncanceled, undoxed for as many minutes as we need, whether it's 59 minutes or 3 hours or more. It is commercial free, Val. It is commercial free. You won't hear pop-up ads or a bunch of stuff coming on. It truly is. It's called long form radio. It's what I used to listen to when I was a little guy, where at midnight or 1 o'clock in the morning, you'd have these great overnight radio shows, long form, like Art Bell, those guys. And there were others. George Norrie is a great guy. I don't think he ever filled Art's shoes, seriously, but nice guy. But overnight radio, if people don't like overnight radio, where it really is just 2 people chatting or 3 people chatting about really interesting stuff. It's got to be news. It's got to be secrets. It's got to be gossip. It's got to be whatever. The key to great radio, is if you don't know what they're going to say. And I'll tell you what, I'm finishing up a show right now, Val, and I had no idea I was going to say this stuff, right? Just talk about, and that's the whole point. So every Wednesday, like today, at 9 a.m. Pacific time, at 9 a.m. Pacific and 12 noon Eastern, at Home Media Mom, Val Olson Radio on X. You can hear the show live, and the only other way to hear it, Val, other than your timeline, is my YouTube channel. Hopefully we'll have at least 24-hour turnaround time, where this entire show, Val, will be posted as a live feed, kind of quote live feed preview premiere on my YouTube channel. So it'll be good. Two places to get it: Val Olson and my YouTube channel at Greg Meakin. Otherwise, sounds funny. I don't know any other radio show that can provide that for me, Val. Not one. Not one. It's especially the uninterrupted, unscheduled, and commercial free. That especially that. So a few minutes, kind of kick it back to you. Really had a blast either way. Let's start rounding down, but give me any kind of thoughts you have right now, Val, based on that. This has been really fun, good stuff today.
Well, we were gonna just touch on, equipment, uh, phone line, and just, the Alberta tie down connection there, and having,
Sure.
yeah, do
Oh,
you
that's
wanna go into
good.
that?
Yeah. And because it's kind of fun, important. Great minds think alike, Val, and you and I are thinking the same on this. Great minds, great minds. It had occurred to me in the last couple of days that we need to have a hotline. I was raised with quote hotlines in my old baby boomer days where we used telephones and landlines. Do you remember those landlines? And over the years, I had fabulous 800 numbers. When I was selling the book Secrets from the Inside: How to Buy a New Car Below Dealer Cost, you know what my phone number was, Val? 1-800 car time. When it's car time, dial 1-800 car time. Last I checked, I think that was a car rental company. But I wanted to make sure. There's been so much, again, not to talk politics, but honestly, this is refugee asylum stuff. Just as a side note, Secret from the Inside. But I want to have a hotline for Alberta folks to be able to call and just share if they have any concerns. Or again, this is on the Alberta 51 issue. If there are concerns or questions, or they actually are kind of yeses, they would like it to happen for their own personal freedom. But I'd like to have a hotline so people can share. Most importantly here, confidentially. I say this because, as you know, Val, I say this because those types of messages just poured in during the forensic poll. I mean, I got emails from people in Alberta, Val. You're privy to most of them, but maybe not privy to all of them. And because they knew they had a one-on-one conversation with me, which is my rule as a CEO, contact conversation. And I had a lot of stories. I mean, multi paragraphs of people that were up in Alberta, honestly, that were done. They were broken in so many ways, including hopeless. And I'm just telling you, and more than anyone would think. But a hotline, not just for those folks, but for people literally that want to. Honestly, it's going to be the AZ48. It'll be the Arizona hotline. So either way, so let's talk about that in the next week or two, if we can. I like your idea. I think we're juggling on what the phone number will be and stuff, but that's a good little teaser there on that. But not even a teaser, not even a product quote. We're talking about an access line, a lifeline kind of thing. So good on that. Let's keep folks posted in the future on that. Otherwise, could you take a minute? You're the mom. You're the at home media mom, but you're the home front mom. You have the kitchen table. We've been sitting around today. You take, if anything, a minute or two. I'm not going to do a hard finish here at the top of the hour. If we need to take a few minutes, that's fine. Do you want to take a few minutes and just kind of chat where the heart is and home, and what just what you're feeling as you head into the Thanksgiving weekend, Val?
Yeah, I just, wanted to go exactly where you're at and, just come back and, uh, you know, the chair, in case people are wondering that we're talking about, it was not a wheelchair. There's a big difference. This the the patterning, right? I was very specific on navy and white stars, and that just as a comparable between that chair and a wheelchair. Well, uh, it's not suited. Like, you want a chair that, like, dances, jumps up, can do what needs to be done. And so just to surmise that not only are we talking about a new line, which is great, uh the chair is in place. So when it comes to making calls, Hey, I'm not afraid if I have a phone line and my house to the White House, right? Like that's how we all need to be thinking on the home front right now. We need to be there where we're not afraid as moms, whether it's Thanksgiving, it's Christmas, a Tuesday, a Wednesday, we pick up that phone and we deliver a solid message. And that's what it's all about. Being very concise and on point and crystal clear communication like we have today. And if it's only for a minute to share it is well, that's what we can leave on. Thanksgiving 2023 on a mission, and it is well. Greg, I'm going to let you close this out. It's 11 o'clock.
Well, how nice is that? It is well. It is well, and I thank you for this. Salutes and shout out to James McCormick that he couldn't be with us today, but he will be next week. And salutes and shout outs to all of his, again, his 500,000, 600,000, whatever guys out there, especially the guys that took a bullet or died for our country. Shout out to our old friends down here in Arizona. Of course, Sheriff Mark Lamb, of course, Gordy Kessler. Shout out to IT Wendy, who did such a wonderful job last week. And we're going to be hearing a lot about human design, Val, a lot. So thanks, but most importantly, thanks to the peeps, the people, the folks that will listen to this, the folks that, as they say, boots on the ground, skates on the ice, rank and file, staff, the regular folks like you and me, Val, the regular folks. I hope all is well for you. I hope Thanksgiving is great for you, for your kids, for your grandkids. I hope life is great. I hope life is great, especially never forget our kids and grandkids. What we do today, what we do this year is going to affect their lives. Side note, if you like dual citizenship with AB 51, that's a great gift for your grandkids. No politics, though, today, Val. No politics today, Val. No, actually, this is freedom. When I say it's going to be politics-free Alberta 51 free show today, maybe it meant really the word free. The politics needs to get free, and people, including the folks in Alberta, need to get free. And if there's a message to leave off on other than it is well, that would be it. So my final note, as ever, is wake up in kindergarten every day. There is so much to learn and so little time, because before you know it, you're in grade 1. That's my sign off, Val.
Greg Meakin calls himself a producer, publisher, and radio guy. Greg is also the writer, the pre show prep guy, a live producer, host, and guest, the post show production guy, the publisher, and yes, the sales and marketing guy. Happy Thanksgiving, Secrets from the Inside, episode 004.